The world of fossils is a remarkable archive of the past, carefully preserving information about the Earth from ages long gone. These ancient remains are not just stone traces, but genuine elements from times when life was completely different. From hard tissues like bones and shells to rare fragments of soft tissues, each one reveals secrets that science continues to explore. Not all creatures leave their remains behind for us. The conditions for their preservation are a complex process, depending on size, tissue composition, and the surrounding environment. Large fossils rich in proteins create conditions for slow mineralization, allowing us to see the inhabitants of the Cambrian period, a time when the Earth was populated by amazing marine organisms about 540 million years ago. Despite scientific advances, fossils still hold many unsolved mysteries. There are cases of forgeries and misinterpretations, such as the story of Dinosaurs, whose remains turned out to be partially painted artifacts. But modern technologies, such as microsensors and DNA analysis, help to lift the veil of centuries, providing new data about life millions of years ago. Each discovery is like a page of history, telling the story of complex evolution and adaptation. As we explore the past, it is quite possible that even more astonishing discoveries await us ahead, discoveries that will push the boundaries of our understanding of a world inhabited not only by dinosaurs but also by many other mysterious creatures. And somewhere in these depths of history lies a surprise capable of overturning what we know. Inexplicable traces. In Australia, on the grounds of a schoolyard in Queensland, a unique discovery was made: dinosaur tracks dating back to the early Jurassic period. These footprints belong to a small bipedal herbivorous dinosaur called Anomoeopus scambus. They give us a rare opportunity to learn more about the lives and habits of these creatures that lived millions of years ago on the territory of the modern continent. Australia in the Mesozoic era was inhabited by a variety of dinosaurs, and the tracks found now not only confirm this, but also open a window into the past. Although these discoveries belong to comparatively small or medium-sized dinosaurs, they allow us to vividly study their social behavior, migration routes, and interactions with the environment. Research also includes the discovery of Megaraptorid and Carcharodontosaur remains in Victoria, showing that dinosaurs could migrate across the ancient continent of Gondwana. This is important for paleontologists as the migration of dinosaurs across continents implies complex ecological and climatic changes. Such discoveries are not just fascinating, they prove that traces of the past can tell us much more than we expect. The knowledge we gain from these fossil finds helps to broaden our picture of Mesozoic life. Researchers continue to search for and uncover new evidence, leading us to even more mysterious and amazing prospects for studying the world of dinosaurs. And now, on the horizon, a new discovery is looming, one that may spark no less excitement and a desire to unravel the mysteries of our planet. The mystery of extinction. The world of dinosaurs holds one of the greatest mysteries: their sudden disappearance. Despite numerous studies, this topic still inspires and provokes debate. The most widely supported theory is the impact of an asteroid, which struck the Earth about 66 million years ago, leaving the giant Chicxulub crater in the Gulf of Mexico. The impact caused massive releases of dust and particles into the atmosphere, leading to the so-called nuclear winter. Sunlight was blocked and ecosystems were thrown into chaos. But the asteroid was not the only factor. At the same time, numerous volcanic eruptions were occurring in what is now India, known as the Deccan Traps. They caused the release of gases capable of altering climate conditions, creating acid rain, and intensifying the ecological upheaval that had already begun after the asteroid impact. Some scientists suggest that it was the interaction of these catastrophic events that proved fatal for the dinosaurs. This reveals to us a striking picture of how multidimensional causes can lead to such a massive extinction. This event demonstrates just how fragile life on Earth is in the face of global cataclysms. Thus, the extinction of the dinosaurs holds a lesson not only about the unpredictability of nature, but also about its incredible capacity for recovery. After all, the next major event following the extinction was the rise of the Age of Mammals. What other secrets from the past might be hidden in the traces of the Mesozoic era? When you see a scene made up of the skeletons of unimaginable creatures, you always wonder what will happen next. Unusual anomalies. Imagine fossils that, it would seem, shouldn't exist side by side. At a well-known site in Greenland, paleontologists discovered traces of ancient Mesozoic fish, which, according to scientists, were transported there by water currents from previously existing locations. Such phenomena are explained by secondary burial, a process in which fossils are moved from their original location. The greatest interest is sparked by dinosaur remains in which traces of soft tissues have been found. For example, in North America near Fishkagon, a fossil was discovered with well-preserved collagen, which became a real breakthrough. How could these proteins have avoided decomposition for 65 million years? The answer lies in special burial conditions, such as rapid mineralization and the absence of oxygen, which perfectly preserve biological structures. Alongside this, some layers preserve unique structures that testify to geological changes, such as tectonic shifts. These occurrences, though they may seem incredible, provide invaluable data for understanding Earth's past. In Australia, for example, the discovery of opal fossils astonished the scientific community, not only because of their beauty, but also due to the unique conditions of their formation. Such discoveries prompt us to reconsider our usual assumptions and to continue exploring the Earth's depths. Somewhere within these fossils, hidden among seemingly ordinary layers and finds, lies the key to a new stage in understanding the age of the dinosaurs. But what if we manage to find a connection between these phenomena and understand how they could change existing scientific theories? A mystical appearance. The idea of what dinosaurs looked like is highly controversial. In fact, modern research shows that many dinosaurs could indeed have been brightly colored. This is especially true for species closely related to birds. Studies of fossils with preserved pigments and feather structures confirm that such dinosaurs could easily be called exotic. Colorful crests and bright hues could have been used for signaling and attracting mates. And this is already a widely accepted scientific consensus. As for being warm-blooded, this is not just a hypothesis, but also a supported fact for some groups of dinosaurs, especially those belonging to theropods. However, the idea of rapid regeneration is based on speculation without serious scientific evidence. Interestingly, some dinosaurs, such as troodontids, are indeed characterized by a high brain-to-body ratio, which is comparable to that of modern birds. Such findings provide grounds to believe that the intelligence of some species may be underestimated. However, for now, this does not compare to mammals. It is important to remember that depictions of Astylisaurus with shaggy, woolly surfaces have no confirmation in paleontology and are more a product of artistic imagination. Real paleontological discoveries continue to add new details to the picture of ancient life, relying on scientific methods rather than speculative ideas. When it comes to dinosaurs, the facts can be just as astonishing as fiction. After all, in every new layer of Earth, side by side, lie both evidence of reality and a tremendous potential for new discoveries that inspire us to find connections between episodes of history and new scientific breakthroughs. A living legacy. Birds is incredible, but they are dinosaurs in the biological sense. Today, we see the descendants of theropod dinosaurs in every park, every garden. While the rest of the dinosaurs disappeared 66 million years ago, birds not only managed to survive, but also evolved, becoming true living dinosaurs of our time. However, crocodiles, although they are often called living dinosaurs, actually belong to a different group of archosaurs, ancient relatives of the dinosaurs. These formidable reptiles, with their sharp conical teeth and powerful jaws, have remained almost unchanged since those ancient times. Their lineage split from that of the dinosaurs long before the latter appeared, making them true living relics of the dinosaur era. Imagine that modern behaviors like migration or social hierarchy, which we observe in birds, may have their roots in the Mesozoic era. Although this is based on limited findings and assumptions, the idea is captivating. Perhaps certain behaviors have been inherited from those ancient times, passed down from common ancestors. Every time we look at birds or even at majestic crocodiles, we see direct descendants of the ancient world, different branches of archosaurs. Birds remain the only group of dinosaurs that has survived to this day. And crocodiles show us the unfathomable mysteries that can be held by lineages that have endured for millions of years. But how are these pieces of evidence interwoven in the great book of evolution, and what other mysteries does the past still hold? This is only the beginning of a vast journey of research and discovery. Messages from the past. Argentinian Patagonia has become a true treasure trove for paleontologists. Here, the impressive remains of a new dinosaur species, Cytosaurus marai, a herbivore with an incredibly long neck, were discovered. These findings demonstrate just how diverse and adaptable the ancient inhabitants of our planet were. In addition to this, titanosaurs of the late Cretaceous period left a significant legacy, standing out as true giants of their time. And now, let's travel to sunny South Africa. Recently, dinosaur tracks formed about 140 million years ago were discovered here. These tracks, which captured the life of the Mesozoic era, have been preserved in the deposits of the Western Cape, offering us not only evidence of the presence of dinosaurs, but also insights into their habits and migratory behavior. Now let's talk about the world's largest dinosaur footprint site, Cal Orco in Bolivia. It contains thousands of tracks from more than 15 species, including ankylosaurs and titanosaurs. This site demonstrates how diverse lives were intertwined. These tracks are not just imprints on stone. They are entire narratives of millions of years of evolution, showing how dinosaurs lived and interacted with each other. Each of these footprints is an important page in the book of history, inviting us to delve deeper into the past and understand what secrets this mighty era may hold. There are still many mysteries ahead of us, waiting to be unraveled, ready to expand our knowledge of the world of dinosaurs. And all of this is just part of a great story within which are hidden the answers to questions we are only beginning to ask. Ancient legends. The myths about dragons in China may have been inspired by the discovery of large fossilized bones. Dragons are symbolic creatures that combine elements of various animals. Some scientists suggest that ancient Chinese people may have used fossil discoveries as the basis for their ideas about dragons. But this is just one hypothesis, and it is not an indisputable fact. The thunderbirds of the indigenous North American tribes embody the myth of giant birds that control lightning and storms. Although such legends are a powerful element of these people's cultures, they do not have a clear connection to paleontological discoveries of dinosaurs. This is more a reflection of interaction with natural phenomena than the result of seeing fossil remains. Medieval European chronicles are filled with tales of dragons and giants, and indeed, large bones that were found were sometimes associated with mythical creatures. Although the term dinosaur was only introduced in the mid-19th century, earlier people may have interpreted bone discoveries as the remains of legendary beings. It is worth noting that in a number of regions, myths may have arisen precisely in those places where fossilized remains were later discovered. Although such coincidences are not as common as one might think, these legends, blending history and imagination, continue to inspire people even today. Perhaps new discoveries will provide even more grounds for new interpretations, lifting the veil on the mysteries of ancient times. In the end, myths and scientific knowledge intertwine into a dynamic picture of the world, where reality and fantasy go hand in hand. Secrets of DNA. Contrary to popular myth, scientists have not yet managed to extract complete dinosaur DNA from fossils. DNA is an extremely delicate material that breaks down over several million years. But paleontologists enthusiastically study proteins and molecules that can still be preserved in ancient finds. Although this is far from the science fiction of resurrecting dinosaurs, each such discovery brings us closer to a deeper understanding of the world of ancient giants. Today, molecular paleontology is actively studying how we can trace the evolutionary history of dinosaurs and their descendants, the birds. Thanks to the discovery of proteins, we can form hypotheses about the color, texture of feathers, and even metabolic features, which adds detail to the otherwise bare skeletal picture of the past. The study of ancient proteins also allows us to understand what diseases plagued dinosaurs, helping to link the phenomenon of extinction to biological changes. Modern scientific discoveries are opening up new horizons for us. Fragments of ancient molecules, like pieces of a mosaic, come together to form a picture that tells the story of life and evolution. And although recreating dinosaurs remains just a dream, genetic analysis demonstrates how science can shed light on mysteries millions of years old. Each fragment is a priceless clue, preserving within itself a piece of a long-lost world. There is something more to this intense search than simply deciphering the past. It opens new chapters of understanding about how ancient creatures shaped the biological diversity of Earth. Inexplicable phenomena. Since time immemorial, people have encountered giant bones and jaws, turning them into legends about mystical creatures. Thus, in Asia and Europe, when skulls of ancient animals were discovered, they inspired tales of dragons and giants. For example, the first cave bear jaws that were found became the basis for legends about cyclopes, while the bones of large predators gave rise to images of mighty dragons. This shows how, in different eras, people tried to explain the unknown by linking real remains to mythical creatures. Science confirms that many legends have their origins in fossils. For instance, depictions of dragons in East Asian cultures are often inspired by discoveries of large dinosaur fossils, reminding us that myths are not just products of imagination, but also attempts to interpret what was seen. This fascinating collision of fact and fantasy has enriched the cultural heritage of many peoples. Once, during an excavation, a massive jawbone was discovered, and soon the local residents associated it with the guardian of the mountains. Here, it is important to distinguish between cultural interpretations and scientific facts. Such legends are products of imagination, not phenomena confirmed by science. The study of these finds helps us understand how past cultures made sense of the world around them and shaped their beliefs. Modern technologies allow us to interpret the past more accurately. The enormous skeletons that once formed the basis of myths now tell stories of bygone eras. Although superstitions and myths continue to influence perception, scientific research clearly separates legend from real knowledge. And as soon as we unravel one mysterious discovery, a new one follows, expanding our understanding of the ancient world and preserving the connection between science and history that continues to this day.